There was a riser underneath.
There was. These rocks right here are going to hold the fish right as this current comes down. There you go. Yeah, point the rod at it, pull the line in. There you go. You could do kind of a mend at this point, but the current's a little tricky.
It's pretty ugly.
That's okay. These fish don't get picky sometimes. They see that thing and go nuts for it.
Do you mind a little fly movement on the mend, or would you
know
prefer
what?
not?
I don't mind it, especially in the beginning, right when the fly kind of lays down. I really worry towards the end when we have a perfect drift happening, and a mend might be necessary, but we might not have to do it. There's a nice.
Would you leave that, or?
Oh!
I think that'll work.
Okay, now tip your rod upriver a bit. There you go. That angle is the angle we're going to want to have.
Oh! I had a twofer for a second, I think.
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. It's always these first few moments when you see your client's cast, and you know how the day is going to be. Nice. And that's a cast that'll work. Oh!
You called it.
Nestled up against the North Cascade Mountain Range, the Methow Valley is a beautiful piece of real estate, a place where lifestyle is everything and the lawn ornaments are alive. Greg, his wife and partner Allison, along with young Keller, own a small country inn and fly shop in Winthrop, where Allison tends to the business of innkeeping, checking rooms, booking clients, as well as looking after Keller, while Greg is on the river guiding.
Allison said to me, "Well, you're just going fishing all the time." I said, "Well, no, I'm getting paid and I'm taking people. It's a job, and so for my job I have to go out and practice, and so I would justify going out for 3 or 4 hours every day, fishing, and saying that I was learning the river, and I was always testing new waters, finding holes, and after 6 years of fishing this place, I really have finally come to understand how the fish, reside and hold in the different places, and she now looks at it as a job, as a profession. But at the same time, too, there's a little bit of jealousy sometimes that I'm going out and standing in a river for a day and getting paid for it.
Winthrop, Washington is a charming little town that sprang up on the banks of the Methow River in the late 1800s, when gold prospectors populated the valley in pursuit of fortune from a discovery in the area in 1868. Rebuilt after a devastating fire in 1883, its western motif has captured the heart of many travelers who regularly return here for fly fishing, horse riding, mountain biking, rock climbing, and hiking in the summer, cross-country skiing in the winter. The area has over 100 miles of trails through the surrounding hills. Though the town was established by Guy Waring, a Harvard alumni, in 1891, it's named after Theodore Winthrop, a Yale graduate, adventurer, and traveler. The historic Western novel, The Virginian, written by Waring's Harvard roommate, Owen Wister, was said to have been inspired by Wister's honeymoon trip to Winthrop. Lifestyle is why many people are here, including Greg and Allison.
When we decided to buy the inn, we knew that it would be a beautiful area and that obviously through the innkeeping we would meet a lot of interesting customers. But the best part of this whole experience has been the community, and that took a little bit longer to discover than meeting guests. But the community here is so welcoming and so wonderful, and there's so many activities and so many families, and it's just been the best surprise of it all. In 2003, we purchased the inn. We moved up from San Diego, and at that point, it was just 5 original rooms and the lobby. And then last year, we completed this building here, which is 5 deluxe rooms, including the room we're in, which is a premium room, which a lot of the guided fly fishermen stay in. And about 3 years ago, we took over the fishing business. So we had the fly shop in the lobby as of that time. So,
Did you always dream of being an innkeeper and, having a guiding business?
Greg was always really good at outdoor activities and loved fishing and rock climbing and all of those things. So the guiding came naturally to him once he, learned the ropes of the area. As far as innkeeping, we just knew that we could do it. We both ran our own businesses in San Diego. So we knew that the only thing we really needed to learn how to do was to clean rooms, which we did a couple years until we added on and could afford the housekeeper. But it's an amazing lifestyle, and it's great to meet all these new people from actually around the world. And it was more of a serendipity, I guess, that we fell into it. So.
And the newbie.
And this is Keller. He's 10 and a half months old, and he's just been so much fun. We're so blessed to both be able to spend every day with him. So he's a really sweet guy, and hopefully he'll be a fisherman too. The farmer's market is great. I mean, the neat thing about the area is all of the farmers and the emphasis on local foods, and we're kind of think that's becoming popular again, but this area's definitely been leading the way. So there's a lot of local organic farmers, and a lot of people have their own gardens. So when you go to the farmer's market, you see everyone out there, just the mom and pop from their own garden selling their extra vegetables, or, some of the, other small farms around here, whether it's fruit or vegetables. And then we also have a local organic goat dairy. We have a locally raised organic grass-fed beef, and we also have a local cow dairy. And everything's, we're just so blessed to be able to get all of these things within a 30-mile radius to us.
So I'll bet we'll have better luck if we have a couple of rods in the water. What do you think?
It's a possibility, but I have to warn you about one of the things that happens when I fish with other people. Sometimes I catch a big fish.
That's good. That's good. I can take just as much pleasure in that as catching it myself. Oh.
Oh, miss?
Was
it the
What
drop?
gives you the greatest story about guiding?
I would like to say it's the fish and the river, and it is, but it's the people. It's the people I guide.
There we go.
Stuck one.
Woohoo! On the dry.
Nice. And they have the most interesting stories and lives. And I have so much fun talking to these people and meeting them and asking what they do. And I mean, fly fishermen are notoriously adventurers. They're looking for something interesting, and so they have these stories. And for me, it's spending a day with somebody I've never met, building a relationship of trust right off the bat that we have to work as a team or this is not going to work. You have to trust me, and I'll trust you. And when that happens, that's what makes it the best joy. And you get off the water in the day, and the client's happy, and they had an experience. It was probably, for a lot of people, a day of fishing with a guide is maybe their 1 or 2 times a year they get to fly fish. And so that's a very special day, and you get to be a part of it. And I think that's an honor, to be out there with these people on their day off, their vacation, and watching them appreciate and love this river so much. It's got the dropper. Around his head a little bit. Okay.
And the cut bow would just have the coloring mostly underneath the maxillary?
Mm-hmm. Like right here, he's a feisty one. This one here. Come here, bud. Okay, do you mind if I release it?
Please do.
Okay.
Any tricks to releasing?
Pretty much just keeping the fish upright. And I usually like to go with the current upriver. And always hold them in the belly. And they'll tell you when they're ready to go. And what we're doing is just letting him... Here he is. Hey, are you doing circles around us?
I think so.
This isn't fair. Oh, he's right here.
Right by your foot.
He's right between my legs right now.